and we're going to be bringing you the set that everyone has been waiting for. We've got VS Valdemar up against SAS coming up next, and oh boy, Sokatan, the first one's gonna be Dry Arabia here, a classic between the two. And SAS, just looking at the draft here, he's got them some civilizations that he feels very, very comfortable with. Golden Horde amongst them. Wink, wink.
Golden Horde's a fun one. Man, nothing's more fun than I think starting on Dry Arabia. It's just the final destination, you know. It's like when you got like when you're in school, you know, and you got that guy who's like you're kind of ribbing with, and you're like, okay, come on, let's 1v1, final destination, no items, let's go, Smash Bros, let's do this. Same kind of vibe. Dry Arabia starting right off here in the qualifier. SAS Valdemar. If you're Valdemar and SAS, if you're the one drafting, what civs are you wanting to start out on this map?
I mean, both of these players, of course, they do have their favorite civilizations in their game. Like, they got clear favorites when it comes to what civilizations they want to play. So, Valdemar, of course, he's a more standard player, but he does have a tendency to go for berry civilizations. So, picking Ayubids and Abbasid, definitely something that just comes to mind with him. Also has played a lot of China, or is known for a lot of China play, and in general just aggression. So China, Ayubids, French, House of Lancaster, definitely just civilizations that Valdemar is very, very familiar with. SAS, on the other hand side, he's a little bit more specific about the civilizations that he enjoys and the civilizations that he practices. So having the Ottomans there, that is like the clear favorite, I want to say, for SAS. Like, SAS really enjoys the Ottomans with their unique playstyle, and the Golden Horde as well, a civilization that also has a very, very unique playstyle with them as well. Just one of the newer civilizations that plays very differently. I'm not sure if it's because of the name of the Khan, but yeah, he very much identifies with them.
Yeah. Do you think that's what he picks then? He just goes for those two civs and lets Valdemar pick which one he'd rather not face of the two?
I mean, there was a little bit of a strategized banning there as well, right? Like, he did ban out Ottomans just to make sure that Valdemar isn't gonna be picking that. Yeah. And you just see how much priority he puts on the Ottomans. Like, he banned them out, but then he first picked them just to make sure that Valdemar isn't banning them on his third ban. So just really want to make sure that Ottomans is gonna be on his side. And we're in a best of 5 now. The best of 5s can still be rather, I want to say, volatile with their development, as you kind of need to win with your stronger civilizations relatively early on. And look at that, what's coming in here. We got Dry Arabia with French versus HRE. Classic. This is interesting because previously, or not previously, I want to say a meta or two ago, this would have been HRE favored. In the current meta, though, I am not so sure if that is still the case, because French currently, we're in the age of cav, we're in the cavalry meta at the moment. So I think this might actually be leaning a little bit more towards the French side of things, maybe.
It's yeah, it feels like a coin flip nowadays. I definitely agree. HRE used to kind of have the edge, and now you start on Dry Arabia, how open it can be. I could see French taking the edge on this now over HRE. We'll find out here in just a couple minutes, but starting off with kind of a strong pairing of civs, I feel like, between Valdemar and SAS for this grudgiest of grudge matches coming up before us. Of course, with like you mentioned, with the best of 5, it's small enough of a match set that it could be kind of scrappy either way, but big enough at the same time that there's some wiggle room to drop a game if you need to. I'm looking at the other maps too, like Frisian Marshes, Baldland, normal enough. Then we got Hill and Dale and Socotra also in the map pool. Not maps you see every day.
Yeah, Socotra, it's definitely one of the more, I want to say, specific maps here to Red Bull. Gotta remember, of course, the main Red Bull event is mostly AoE2 centric, and Socotra is one of those maps that also has a pretty good base standing in Age of Empires 2. We had a Socotra iteration at the beginning when it first came out that really didn't fit AoE 4, but it's been reworked since, and at the moment I feel like Socotra now kind of really does embrace the AoE 4 style as well, in a really, really good way. So this version of Socotra definitely fitting Age of Empires 4. It's a pretty good map at this point, and I would personally recommend it in its current form.
Yeah, it definitely plays differently than like a dry. It's the proximity and the way it kind of just feels almost. It reminds me almost of like, and this is a very poor combination of poor comparison, but almost the way I feel about mountain clearing, where it feels like you're in like a thunderdome of sorts. Whereas Socotra, again, it's kind of Final Destination vibes. Like you're right here, you're stuck together. It's very aggressive. I kind of hope we get to see that one. I hope at some point we get to see this map get played. It's just been a while since I've seen it in EGC, so excited to have it here for Road to the Red Bull Wololo. We got 4.5 minutes to sit here and debate what we feel is going to happen in this series. I'm looking at the other civs too. I think it's interesting because of SAS's prioritization of getting Ottomans. That lets China slip through for Valdemar.
It does, but at the same time, especially when it comes to like cavalry-centric civilizations, I feel like there's a good amount of civilizations currently in the map pool where China kind of can't be played in the way that it currently like really wants to be played. Like we saw it perfectly play out in Baxter versus Jiff Music as well, where the mass Lancer play, it just doesn't, it doesn't find its timing. B, it just gets countered by even stronger knights. And when it comes to stronger knights, like SAS, of course, having the Macedonians in there with the Radari, having the Malians in there as well, which are, in my opinion, a great potential counter to the Chinese. I think there's just a whole lot of opportunity here for SAS to counter out a civilization like China with relative ease. We still, of course, have other comfort picks there for Valdemar as well, like the Byzantines, a civilization that is very familiar with, Abbasid as well. Those civs could be coming in on Frisian marshes as well. For now, though, it's going to be some classic civs that will come in, namely, of course, the French and the HRE. And HRE, most likely, in this matchup on this map, or pretty much on any map in this matchup, will be going, of course, for their Dark Age opening, getting those spearmen up across the map just to harass and annoy the French a little bit, you know, just delay that, that early timing on the Pro Scout. Yeah, that first night, that Pro Scouting timing, all of these things will get delayed by quite a bit by those early spearmen, unless the French decide to go for an early outpost. Is, of course, a little bit more rare, but could definitely come in. It is a genuine thing that could be done on, like in this matchup in particular, going for that early outpost, but could, of course, also invite... It would be quite the read, but at the same time, there's a pretty nice follow-up where if SAS then just sends one villager out to get a counter outpost up on the other side of the gold vein, that makes the situation a lot more terrible because Valdemar, of course, will have invested 100 wood into the outpost and still be denied off of the gold. Yeah, then it's a fortified position on the gold where if it's just a spearman, what Valdemar in theory could do is just mass gather up the gold with like 4 or 5 villagers, just send them out to the gold vein immediately, get enough gold in, and then just go for the fast feudal age, get some archers in, you can take control over the gold again. However, if you invest into an outpost and you get counter outpost rushed, now the transition into the fast feudal archer play is much, much harder, or at least going to be significantly delayed.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's the funny thing is that both these players are thinking through all these scenarios right now too, getting ready to get in. Like it's in the back of their minds already. They know the map. They know what they're getting into here. It'll be fun to see. We got a minute and a half before we dive in. This is the our first qualifier here in the round of 16, as people try to qualify to Red Bull's event in London coming up here. Exciting stuff. Boy. This map. Any predictions so far? Do you think French has got the edge here? Are you leaning towards that?
I would actually slightly favor French in this one, just because of like we got slight nerfs on the HRE, and I'm honestly just personally not a big fan of the Spearman Horseman army composition against Archer Knight. I mentioned it earlier, like you just need like 12 to 15 archers to be able to one-shot a Spearman. After that, you just keep pumping the high-value knights in. And Age of Cavalry, right? Like knights can frontline against spearmen for a significant amount of time with relative ease.
Of course, that could all be thrown out the window if SAS gets a really good spawn or something and has just the perfect
or a good
setup.
engagement to surround.
Yeah, a good early engagement. I mean, that's kind of the tricky thing is like, even though we feel like French has an edge here, if SAS gets something breaks his way, then suddenly you got to reassess everything all over again. But we'll find out here in 20 seconds as we get ready to dive in. These two players with no love lost between them. Bit of a grudge match coming up. We'll be diving in. 9 seconds. I'm ready. I'm almost ready to do a countdown in my mind. I can hear like the NASA countdown as we get ready to dive in. Game number 1. This is I'm excited for this series.
Yeah, definitely, probably most entertaining one I want to say to look forward to today. Jumping right in. Correct. Coming in for SAS, as expected. Not the player names there in as well. Valdemar, on the other hand side, plays as the French, and we do of course have that nice little UI there on the minimap that tells us exactly where it's to. And indeed, it's early output here from Valdemar. And SAS gets the information on that, so does have the confirmation.
Well, just like you predicted, right? Going for the early outpost. The question is, do we get a villager walking out for the outpost on SAS's side or not?
He's got a spearman moving across, but I think, yeah, it looks like he's just going to be... Actually, he still has villagers on wood. It's another village. Yeah, it is going to be the villager pull. So exactly as we alluded to earlier, if the outpost comes up, SAS, he's just going to put up his own outpost on the other side and is going to be able to still end up denying the gold there for Valdemar, at least long term. Valdemar is going to get enough gold for the age up in. And Valdemar, he's gone for wheelbarrow. Okay, maybe he should probably still get enough gold for the age up in, but definitely not for any knights. And the second gold is right there as well. Villagers are going to have to walk quite a long distance.
Oh, that second gold is just right there. This could be a nightmare for Valdemar in about 30 seconds.
And now he sees.
He sees it. Yeah. Does he cancel the wheelbarrow?
He hasn't canceled it yet.
Hasn't canceled it yet.
That outpost is not in range. That outpost is not in range.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's close, but I honestly don't think that's in range. I hear observers saying Squircle.
Squircle? I think you might be right. Oh, I think Cal might be right with the Squircle here. I think it might just be... I mean, that villager right there is towing the line, literally. I'd rule him out of bounds. Not a catch.
Yeah, I mean, the villagers right now, I don't think... We'll see, we'll see. Like, this is such a weird thing with the game. So the way that it works is there is an entity inside the outpost where the arrows are coming from, where the like radius is being rendered from around the outpost. The question is it right smack dab in the middle on outposts, or is it like leaning towards the side? Okay, we hear Squircle does not apply to outposts, so this should not be in range. This should be out of range. Maybe the one villager that's like leaning in. Yeah, that one villager, but there we go. Okay, he's not risking it.
He's got an extra shot on.
We're never gonna find out. We're never gonna find out. Villagers jumping inside, but that's idle time.
Cat and mouse.
It's actually pretty big idle time. Okay, he's just sitting there next to it now.
Regardless, this is going to slow down that first night. Yeah, that first night's not going to be a night. Yeah. It's going to have to be something else now. So SAS has gotten what he paid for here out of this, at least. And not to mention that Valdemar also already invested into this tower, too. So he's down some wood. He's actually pop capped now. He's housed. Finally got that house up now.
Just got the house.
He has no more wood behind this.
Definitely an awkward opening here for Valdemar, but it's not the end of the world. He did find the gold that he had on the other side, and theoretically, your opponent just invested into the outpost there as well. What you can do now is you pull 5 villagers and you put up an outpost on the other gold vein, and then you just get the gold from there, and you just ignore the first gold vein inside of your base.
And of course, for French, the nice thing is that your production, your resource drop-off buildings are cheaper. They're half off, so it makes it easier to do that.
Same time, passive bonus, of course, there for the French as well. Getting those villagers in a little bit quicker means that he does already have a slight villager lead at this point into the game. We are getting the Minework Palace in for SAS with the HRE, so is going to be having some additional damage on horsemen, on spearmen. Could also just kind of paint the picture as to what he wants to go for. I think this makes a lot of sense. You kind of need additional damage on spears and horsemen if you are going to play an extended feudal age up against knights, and you're going to have to go into a couple of additional prelates anyways in this matchup, I want to say, if it goes for like longer feudal age, so it's not the worst. You're still gonna get bonus economy and you're still gonna get the inspiration. You just gotta really have to pay extra attention, and there it is, as called. He is gonna be sending those villagers out to the far away gold vein. So it's gonna be gathering from their archer already in queue as well. So we'll be having those at the ready in order to protect those villagers as they move out to the gold. Outpost coming up alongside it as well. So pretty much as expected here from Valdemar.
Pastor's Curse has got nothing on you today, Crackety. You've been on top of it. Nailing this match. I mean, from like almost to a T, you've been on it here. This has been fun.
We're at the point now in the meta, or just in general with civilizations, where these kind of choices aren't really choices. They're like the only options that you
dance. Yep, it's a dance.
Yeah.
You just got to perform the steps. It's
if
funny
you go
like,
for the outpost, he goes for outpost, so you just run away to the next gold.
We're in a funny spot where there are certain matchups where we both sit here and go, I've never seen this one before. I wonder how it plays out. And we can kind of guess. And there's matchups like this one that are, tale as old as time. They've been around for a while, and we just kind of know. It's kind of fun to see that dichotomy play out, though. That we can just kind of expect it. Double tower.
Oh, double outpost. I don't like that. I don't like the double outpost. I think that's too big of an investment. Just make units instead.
Valdemar very pretty big investment about that. I wonder if that.
SAS that's for emplacement on the outpost. He hasn't scouted onto the third gold yet. He's still got scout out and about, so we'll probably scout out soon. Double stable. Okay. So is going to be going for a good amount of horseman play here. Already has the Pierce armor in. All pikes coming in next. First knight is out, so SAS sees the knight, so he knows, okay, my opponent is getting gold somewhere. 100% confirmation on that now.
Nice tricky little corner.
SAS, though, I think he needs to go out for food soon. He needs to get an outpost on the... Oh my god, same second as I want to say it. Villagers moving out on the deer to build an outpost.
Actually, I think you're a god. Again, this matchup is just... It really is a choreographed dance that both these players are playing. And the fun thing is that these players are kind of at a very similar level right here.
Definitely.
And this is kind of the premier matchup of the day. Perfectly onto those deer. No pro scouts to be seen here.
Spearman protecting the villager as this comes up as well. So the knights shouldn't really find any villager kills here. SAS a little bit House, but House is coming up now as well. Still producing more and more horsemen behind that. But yeah, villagers will soon have to go out to those deer in front of his base just to like make sure that food income is still gonna be there. And Valdemar going for the early triple composition, already has some spearmen coming up alongside. Definitely going to be necessary here for him to get those spearmen as well. And that's something that SAS in theory is gonna have to react to as well, actually. He needs to act accordingly and get his own archers in as well. You need a tri-composition to fight up against a tri-composition. Like in few numbers, it might still be fine, but once you get to like larger army count, you need to respect the counters.
Yeah, you got to start playing to each of them. Now these knights don't have a lot of room to get distance between these spears. You can see the faster marching speed really play an effect here.
Horsemen moving on to the berries. Where are they moving on to? Yep, moving on to the berry villagers. Archer's gonna burn down the outpost here. Not a lot to defend that. Already has Pierce armor upgrade in, so Horsemen aren't taking too much damage here, but looks like it's still going to be enough in order to force them back there. Oh, actually a couple of spearmen did get picked off there. But the emplacement, Valdemar needs to be careful. Doesn't want to lose the villagers there for free. He's 4 villagers ahead at the moment. Horseman still looking for potential raiding avenues. Oh, the deer. Okay. Only 1 villager building the outpost. If SAS sees that and you can figure this out through the Fog of War, might be able to do some good damage there. In the meantime, spears in the mid-map. Point-blank charge. Good charge.
Back and forth continues. This is a very tight game. Valdemar inching a small lead here with the extra villagers he gains. But under some duress, SAS looking to get that tower down. He's going to push into it. I think he's going to get it down now. I don't think there's enough units nearby. In fact, goes for the Vils instead. Can he get any? No, he just scares him away. The tower will go down, though. Outpost is not long for this world. And there it goes. Nothing but rubble and ash now.
Yeah, Valdemar rallying inside of his base. Has a good amount of knights. Chivalry coming up next as well, so we'll be able to start healing them up as well. SAS still on 1 prelate, is soon going to have to invest into additional prelates. Sending this one out to the deer villagers now as well. A couple villagers on stone, so placements on outposts should be coming in for SAS soonish as well. Sees the knights. Not sure if he noticed them, but he did see them. Okay, he noticed them.
They were in the vision. Does see it, does react to it. That's the kind of the funny thing. Sometimes to be like, well, he was in the vision. It's like, yeah, just because he's in the vision doesn't mean he sees it, you know? Sometimes they get through.
Yeah. Seeing and noticing, 2 different things. Archer's now coming up as well. Oh, are we getting us around? We are getting us around.
Nice pick, using the wood line. And get at least 2 of these here. Maybe one, maybe
a second one. And he pulls the weak horseman back as well. Great play from SAS. Notices that that's something that he can also utilize his own healing.
Horseman gets around. Almost gets another item,
but now Chivalry's coming in, so we'll be able to heal that one up long term. Units from Valdemar are chasing, but realistically you can never chase the HRE military. They're just moving a little bit too fast for you.
They're really good at marching. Even the spears, you can see, just in good pace. In the brace, excellent brace here. Knight doesn't go down though, doesn't get anything out of it. Doesn't quite get anything. You can see it's Valdemar doing the same thing, pulling the weak knight, sending him back home to go heal for a moment with the Chivalry now in.
Ooh, that's not a fight you want to take, at least not quite yet. Looks like he might be getting roped into the fight though.
Now will Valdemar push the issue is the question.
Brace coming in. Brace gets baited out. Now fight's actually getting taken.
Archers
the Horseman though,
getting split.
Not a fight you can take. Spearman not in the engagement yet.
Good
not part
micro
of the
from
equation.
SAS.
Oh, a nice hit there on the last remaining Horseman as well. One more Horseman might be getting picked off there by the archers. Will get picked off.
You can just sense that both these players, I can almost feel the sweat on each of their heads just dripping down. I can just feel them trying to get every ounce of focus into this. Neither player wants to be the one to blink in this matchup, especially
the archers,
in
they're
game
getting
1.
caught off guard.
Archers
they're getting
picked apart by the Horsemen. Knights even can't stay around. They've got to get out of dodge too. The spears get on top. Are they going to get another one? They might. There's one really low health. Horsemen should be able to catch up and take him down.
One more knight might be going down. Horseman is getting the hit in. One more hit.
He's dead.
No,
he's got to be dead. No, he gets through with 9
and gets
HP.
2 horsemen instead.
Wow.
Great engagement there by Valdemar. Or rather, great pull away. That was big value.
I thought for sure that was dead.
Should have been.
I love seeing this. The healing. This is so good. It's just free value. It's free value to heal your units when you can. I love that both these players have been taking full advantage of that.
Yeah, Valdemar behind this is also utilizing the market for some resource trade out. There's one thing here that I feel like SAS can do that could just completely flip the script of the game on its head. And that is potentially aging up with the Burger. It is risky.
Ooh, that'd be risky.
The Burgrave has been changed. The Burgrave has been changed. You now do 50% bonus damage when you're charging with infantry. That means that men-at-arms actually like shred knights with the like Castle Age men-at-arms with the upgrades. Actually completely just shred knights.
Horsemen looking to tear down these outposts. At the very least, they're costing some good idle time. Loses a horse for it, but 20, 30 seconds idle time. Slowing down that gold trickle is so important against the French.
No scout with the army, but has a good army count there. Scout now following up as well. Scout gets found out. SAS definitely wants to follow that one with the horsemen. Entire army following it. There is an outpost on the deer, a small little wall as well, that could definitely buy his unit safety. And now the knights are going to get found out as well.
Nice charge with the knights there to get on the horsemen, but the spear's wrapping around. Oh, Valdemar runs a real risk of getting trapped here.
He does.
Is that wall on the south is completed?
Though, have to be careful.
Oh, we gotta look at this. Villagers bugging out, getting out of dodge, going across the wall where they're safe. They can come back now. But again, see, getting trapped here by that wall. Valdemar wasn't aware of it until just now. And now the spears get onto him.
Another knight.
Another knight.
Didn't move for a second.
Like I said, nowhere really for Valdemar to go.
Now.
Able to get out, but
moving all over here as well.
Yeah, it's you just feel like you're getting surrounded from all sides. Able to get out, but now military numbers from SAS. Military number from SAS looking pretty good, despite the fact now that Valdemar is up by 10 vills. Not a single villager has died in this game. So the TC just churning for French, a little extra boost, getting Valdemar an equal lead. Meanwhile, big fight coming up here. Spears on spears. This looks like a pretty good value for Valdemar to fight this. Able to pick off a couple units.
Gets picked off though, here and there. These are good trade outs. Some knights are getting picked off. Spearman being kind of sacrificed here. Scout gets taken down as well.
Destroyed value was almost neck and neck.
The fight wasn't bad there for SAS in the end, and he is banking up resources. So the Castle Age might actually be coming in sooner rather than later. Behind this, could be canceling just a couple of these men-at-arms, but he is already prepping the men-at-arms switch. Archers though, just a little bit out of position here.
Overcommitted.
There's a big knight count. Big knight count.
Ah, that was a mistake. I think he was in a good position to let Valdemar go, and he wanted to push the issue. Overextended, and just like that, suddenly it feels like on the back foot. It's only 43 to 39 units, but just the positioning and the angle and the momentum can swing so quickly sometimes. Maybe a turn right there into the berries to kind of get a good choke point, but...
Spears getting countered out. There's only 2 spearmen at the moment, or rather 4 spearmen now.
Ace Valdemar in.
So needs to be very, very careful.
And Valdemar needs to be careful, just as careful. Just as SAS overextended there, Valdemar could easily do the same. Now the Archer's diving in. Regnit's coming up. Not what you wanted to see, but Castle Age will be coming up regardless.
I've called this before, and I'm calling it again. I don't think Regnit's in the situation is a good play. Okay, this is gonna be very, very dicey now. The spearmen as well that are coming out here for SAS, they're kind of being misrallied just a little bit, and once he gets the Regnit's in, what can he make with it? Like, you need veterancy in on the archers, but there's such a big army difference at this point in time, and the villagers, they need to pull away from the berries right now. There's all the economy here.
Oh, man. Valdemar doesn't seem to be too busy with it right now, though. He's looking at the main area. Castle Age clicks up. So now it's onus is on SAS. Can he stay alive? Prelate somehow still... Okay, there he goes. Now he's dead. I was like, he's alive for a second. And Valdemar just diving full in, knows that the Castle Age is up, is going to try and push the issue right here, right now. Knights in a pretty scary number. Archers behind, fighting. Horsemen trying to wrap around. They're getting stuck up on a spear, though, for SAS. He needs to get them onto the archers. His archers are split up. This could be it. I think Valdemar might have the killing blow. The archer mass dwindling quickly for SAS. Nowhere to go, nowhere to hide. Military numbers now just completely decimated. 43 to 9. This is going to be probably the game.
It does appear to be so. SAS, no relics coming in as well.
Great push here from Valdemar, knowing when your opponent clicks up that they're vulnerable for that next minute. Able to take advantage and just sweep the military off the map from SAS. SAS has got 4 units, and we're looking at half of them right there. Nowhere to go, nowhere to hide. I don't see how SAS gets back into this game.
Yeah, this is a rough one. Valdemar, he... honestly, like, if this was Burgrave, the game could have been entirely different. I think SAS also just was a little bit too timid on the gold gathering there. And now the Knights, they're gonna make a turn for the berry villagers, and there's too many berry villagers down there for these outposts. He is getting +2 pierce damage in, so the outposts are gonna do a little bit of extra damage. They are fortified, at least one of them is.
To 14 units now for SAS. I mean, If he could just, if Valdemar would grant him a minute or two to remass and restructure his military and get going again, there's a world where he gets back into this. But as it is right now, it's still very, very rough odds. It's an uphill climb.
All villagers on the gold getting found out.
Not ideal.
You also canceled the veterancy upgrade on the archers from the looks of it, so these archers are still feudal age. Not able to really achieve too much there. To kill a couple of villagers here. There's a ton of villagers on gold from Valdemar, so he's trying to go for his own age up soon now as well. 9 villagers to 1 villager kill at the moment, not the greatest. SAS is getting in a lot of stone, which, I mean, theoretically he could use for a keep drop inside of his base just to try and stabilize, but it's not a good one. And Valdemar, he realized the position that SAS is in at the moment, so he's not aging up with the guild hall. He is instead aging up with the Royal Institute, so he is going to be going for that all-in victory there with those Imperial Age upgrades.
It feels a little silly to see that when you have less than, when you've only got single-digit number of knights in the field. It does feel a little silly, but I think that just kind of shows how confident Valdemar feels right now about where he's at in this game.
Legitimately could still come back to bite him, though. Relic
is getting snuck out. He doesn't have a lot. He doesn't have a lot of knights right now. He's got, mostly it's just spears and archers as his mass. He just got a couple of knights for some garnish, really.
Veterancy has come in on the archers now.
Yeah, those knights will be very beefy. Like you said, those Imperial upgrades, essentially, getting the royal bloodlines. Right now, he's focusing on the archers and spears. That's what he's got most of.
Yeah. But 28 villagers on gold, it's only going to be a matter of time until knights are going to be coming in there. There's veterancy on the knights, more knights in queue now as well. Plus 2 pierce damage coming in as well. Pierce armor coming in for SAS, and he's getting enough stone for a keep. Villagers on the wood line have been found out, though. A single knight did pivot around there, did find all of those villagers that were previously on the berries there. Villagers, they're going through the wall, but that's exactly where the archers are going to find them.
And they're all dead.
They're going to have to bite the bullet and go around back to the knights. Does have a couple of units there that are going to be helping him out there.
Valdemar's willing to trade these knights out for the villagers. Nope, he's going to actually drop out. Still, some serious damage done. The archer's now trading out. Somehow, SAS is able to field 30-some-odd units, but I just don't know if it's going to be enough. However, Valdemar throwing away these knights.
Quick wall. He gets a good amount of damage in up against the knights.
Yeah, the military count. Look at that.
Veterancy
SAS
as well.
Really building back up. Valdemar going to castle really kind of gave him some time to breathe. Is it going to be enough? Because he's only got, I mean, he's got 2 of the relics and 2 more in hand. He's actually,
yeah, I mean,
that's
not a bad
impressive.
count. But the villager count, it doesn't make up for the villager count.
No, not entirely. I mean, I was saying that the Royal Institute still felt like a bit of a silly choice in that Valdemar wasn't ready to capitalize on it right now. I mean, I'm like sitting here scratching my head going, is there a world where SAS gets back into this? He is HRE. He's going to have 4 of the relics. It's not bad, but military numbers are still very much in favor of what Valdemar has.
Yeah. Production also kind of stalled out here a little bit for SAS. Villagers jumping inside the TC. Plus 2 pierce armor isn't in quite yet. But might not even be needed. Now the knights are free to roam around the base of SAS again.
Those knights are beefy now too, so fights. The military numbers, yeah, this does look over. I'll say there was a moment where, like, once the numbers for SAS got to like the mid-30s, and I was like, okay, well, maybe. But taking some rough fights again just kind of plays into Valdemar's hands. 14 knights in the field now.
To the low 20s. He's just trying to dodge the army with his villagers for the most part, as well as he can, at least. I'm not sure if he's got a market. He's floating a lot of gold at the moment, so could be potentially trading out for a little bit of food. Still doesn't feel too great in particular, and there are a lot of farms coming up now in the back of the base from SAS. So definitely wants to get the eco going. It's just, oh my god, 27 spearmen now for Valdemar. There's just not enough units here. SAS, he needs like 3 sprinkled emplacement outposts maybe in the back to be able to hold this with fortifications. Isn't falling back to it though if he had it. It's just jumping inside the TC.
I mean, the knights, there's just no way you deal with the knights with the numbers you have here. Even with the TC fire, this game is effectively gone now.
Doesn't look like there's any outpost. The keep is getting rushed up instead. That's actually better than an outpost.
Yeah, just a little bit. Problem is still what happens when your TC gets burned down.
Destruction. Yeah, looks like that is going to be the plan here, just burning down the TC. I mean, right now it's pretty much mostly just military units inside the TC. So it's not like economic idle time, or at least not big economic idle time. Granted, there's still a lot more villagers that are completely idle at the moment for SAS. And yeah, Valdemar, he's just going to be making the ramps now in front of his base. At this point in time, SAS economy just doesn't really exist.
It really doesn't.
So there's no capacity to like mass up enough units to defend this now. There's like these small little raids coming in, but it's still 6 to 16 villager kills.
You can really tell that SAS does not want to give this one up, but it is over, unfortunately, for him. He'll have to. The nice thing is it's not over for the series. This is only game 1. We still have at least 2 more games to go, if not a full 4. That's a lot of rams. Ram Ranch is on the menu. 7 rams. I think that ought to do it. You can almost hear the Benny Hill theme playing right now.
Yeah, now it's just the infrastructure getting hit, and that's not something that SAS can very easily rebuild behind this. Still making archers, making some men-at-arms now as well. I really wonder how this game could have gone had it been Burgrave instead of the Regulates. Because that, to me, it's like the biggest opportunity play there that you can make in this matchup. I've played it myself like a bunch of times. In some pretty strong French players as well. So from my experience, especially ever since the buff on the Burger, Burgrave is actually hidden OP up against the French feudal all-in. Because once you get those men-at-arms in, once you get the mace in, they just shred with the charge anything that's armored in their way, whether it be a knight or anything else.
SAS is going to make Valdemar tear down every landmark.
Yeah, they're gonna get taken down as well.
He refuses to concede.
He's gonna get forced out of it eventually. As the last buildings do go down, and that's just one landmark about to be left alive here. Ironwork taken down. Just no army here. 14 to 80 military. And now realization is setting in that, yeah, there's just one landmark left alive. No emergency repair as well. Be able to repair the Regnates.
Game 1 will go to Valdemar in about 5 seconds here. We'll reset for game number 2. The grudge match continues. Valdemar taking the early lead. That was a pretty fun game. Yeah, I wonder if the Burgrave would have moved the needle. I feel like
it's a classic matchup.
The fight right into castle was just brutal. And there was kind of that overextension right before that kind of led to a bit of a back and forth that really SAS probably didn't want to take early on in that game. I feel like right around that 14 to 15 minute mark as he was about to click up in the 16, you can just kind of see the military lead kind of moving. That was kind of the point where he wanted to hold back, and he kind of overextended there, kind of pushed the issue when I don't think he needed to. It's kind of one of those, I mean, it wasn't quite the classic throw away your military into castle GG, but it was kind of it kind of rhymed with that, you know?
Yeah. It did definitely hurt there a little bit, but overall I want to say like this was still pretty close. Like by the time the HM came in, I really would have loved to see the implication of a Burgrave there in that matchup. We're at the point where resources were definitely running low on the map, and Burgrave is just such a great tempo play because as well, like it's not just the speed on the production, but also the speed on the upgrades that you are going to be getting in, and being able to get the mace upgrade and the two-handed upgrade there as well on the men-at-arms at a very, very quick pace. In a situation where SAS is heavily committed to feudal age, like you saw just how long it took Valdemar without any army reproduction to catch up to the castle age, right? Like in those moments, if you got a Burgrave ready, yeah, you got a pretty good window, and the Burgrave would potentially give you the opportunity to clean Valdemar's army, and then he's the one that ages up without any military.
Well, you can see it too in the graph, right? You see the military elite, it kind of spikes at around 19 minutes. But then around 22, like from 20 to 24, there's kind of that dip. With the Burgrave, you can maybe close that gap. And that's kind of that window we're talking about. You can literally see the window right there. That was the time frame to do something. And then, of course, after the 23, 24-minute mark, it just gets out of hand with the knights being everywhere.
Yeah. Was a pretty close one. Alas,
yeah,
we are going to be moving into the set, or deeper into the set. So we're going to be checking out now the next game that is going to be coming up, see what the players have drafted here, if they have. And it is going to be... Oh, there's going to be an interesting one.
into Macedonians. Interesting.
Yeah.
You know, now, ABBA is the kind of civ. Everyone likes to hate on ABBA for having really bad win rates in the last, couple seasons. And it's true. They've been in a rough spot. But last EGC tournament, they had an incredibly high win rate. So, and on Hill and Dale especially, that's a map where I could definitely see a couple different builds. You have the option for Trade Wing. You've got the option just to go for TCs. You've got some choices to make with Abbasid on Hill and Dale.
There is civilization, I want to say, that is not fitting the current meta. They've got their own meta, which at the moment is at all-time low strength-wise, which is, of course, the multi-TC boom meta. Yeah,
yep, stocks are down. However, on the TC boom.
Abbasid, they can still force a worse meta. They can force their 2TC, 3TC type gameplay. And if they get away with it, if they don't get punished within the first 10 minutes for it, they scale so well that it's kind of absurd just how well they can force a weak meta in a situation where it really shouldn't be viable, and they can make it viable. So to an extent, Addis are definitely not a bad civilization. They're going to be up against the Macedonians here. Now, Macedonians, they're not an eco-centric civilization, not at all. They don't have any unique eco upgrades.
Yep.
They got a nice eco landmark, but it's not there aren't any eco-centric upgrades. They're definitely a military-centric, all-in type civilization. That's their main strength. That's going for them. Of course, having the Radari, the strongest knights in the game at the moment for their cost.
Dude, they're so good. Macedonian Radar, they're so good. It's actually insane. Yeah. I've been shocked before. Anecdotally, I've played. I like to play Sengoku every now and then, and even as Ubids. And you go into those things, and those things just shred. I mean, they are such powerful cavalry units. It's just insane. It's shocking. It's shockingly so if you haven't experienced it before. You know, when you're going against a new civ, you're kind of learning the meta. And you come up against those the first time, you will get wowed. They're something.
I like how chat is Macedonians when it should be Macedonians, or rather, I say Macedonians when people are like, oh no, it's Macedonians. There's two pronunciations of it. Macedonian is actually also a correct pronunciation, and also. English is such a weird language with pronunciations. We call it maize, but is it Macca then? If it's Macedonians, is it also not maize, but Mecca? Huh? Explain that to me.
I won't explain anything for my native language to you. We made everything's just conglomerated in. You say it, you mess it up. I'll still understand it. I don't care. I say Macedonians. You can say Macedonians.
Stolen language.
Some people say tomato. I say tomato. I don't care. It's all the same. We understand it. That's the beauty of English, is you can butcher our language, you can butcher it to pieces, and I'll still understand what you're saying. So, anyways, Hill and Dale, not usually the most thrilling of maps to jump on. Most people kind of roll their eyes on this one because of just how turtley it is. But this is kind of the exact spot. I mean, I'm looking at what Valdemar offered on this one. China or Abbasid on Hill and Dale. Yeah, that tracks. Both of those civs would do just wonders on this one. And then on the flip side, though, SAS kind of more aggressive, both two aggressive civs with Mongols and Macedonians as his offerings. Definitely a difference in a playstyle being showcased here just a little bit on this map.
All right, now it is time for us to jump into our game number 2 between Valdemar and SAS. We're jumping right on in as we're moving over to Hill and Dale now. In this best of the normal letter version of Hill and Dale, and the ETC variant is, of course, that you do have a lot more sheep that are spawning rather than all maps. So makes it a little bit more fair when it comes to the scouting early on. Means that there's not going to be a situation where one player just barely finds any sheep. And yeah, Now we're going to have ourselves a nice little peaceful early game. Don't think there's going to be any early aggression, so we can just introduce our players. We have SAS spawning in the color yellow here, playing as the Macedonian dynasty. Macedonian, Macedonian?
I'm just going to
Something
repeat that
along
now.
those lines.
I wasn't going to mention it, but if chat's going to mention it, I'll rib you for it.
The Macedonian?
Oof, that hurts a little bit.
There's
that one
something.
Hurts.
There's something of a civilization. At least they have a unit that is an absolute unit in the game. And on the other hand side, we got VS Valdemar playing as the Abbasid dynasty here. Definitely a comfort pick from him. We do know Valdemar as a resident Abbasid player, of course, so definitely a civilization that he's very, very familiar with. Not sure about the matchup, though.
Yeah. Looking at this, with Macedonians and having all the Nordic berserking units that they've got, and knowing now that we have, of course, Vikings on the horizon, do you think we'll see some similarities between this and that civ in the future, since we've got a minute to sit and chill and discuss things?
Yeah. What was the question? Sorry, I was looking at chat.
I was wondering if you think that with obviously this civ has some Viking-like units. When now we know Vikings are on the horizon, do you think we'll share some assets between Macedonians and the Viking civ, whatever it ends up being called?
I'm quite certain that something along these lines is going to be happening. I mean, after all, Ranging Guards, kind of like a Viking-ish unit. Of course, it might just be like a complete separate unit that gets created for the Vikings. We're not even 100% sure on the name yet, right? Like, they said Vikings, but we know how politically correct Age of Empires 4 likes to be with their civilizations when it comes to history. So around the time slot where AoE4 happens, I heard a lot of voices being like, "Oh, you can't call it Vikings. They weren't Vikings." Yeah. So
I feel like Nords
it's probably going to be like Norse or
Norse
or Scandinavian, something like that.
Norse or Scandinavians.
To be fair, if you're cool, you don't care about, you're going to call them Vikings anyways.
I like
so
Vikings too. I think they're just as cool.
Yeah.
I don't care that much. I think it will be called either Norse or Scandinavians, but if they called it Vikings, I'm not going to lose sleep over it. It's still fun to call
If you really want to piss somebody off, or if you want to like annoy a lot of people, you're going to call them Danes.
Would that really annoy people?
That's how you're going to make a lot of
I don't really care either way, but I could see someone getting up in arms about it. I'm just glad we have Zhu Shi instead of we didn't get what was it? Could be Empire of Jade or whatever it was going to be called beforehand.
Yeah.
Jade Empire, something along those lines. I remember that was a big uproar.
Sultan's Army.
Well, anyways,
had some cool name attempts there, right? Like there were some attempts, but yeah, definitely. Like if you wanna like just piss off all Norwegian, Swedish, and Finnish people at the same time, you're just gonna call the Viking Danes. Yeah. I already hear cows sighing. Yeah.
Yep, we can hear cows seething. Mission accomplished, Crackety. Mission accomplished. It's going to be Imperial Hippodrome. No surprises here. Unlike Byzantines, Macedonians loves going for the Hippodrome. An Abbasid. Was it military wing? Was that what I was seeing clicking up? I believe that's what it was.
It is military wing here for Valdemar. Same time, SAS aging up with the Hippodrome, already getting the first horseman in. And something critical to note here is that SAS Gold is at the front of his base, so it's definitely something that he is going to have to defend, because if you lose out on the gold early on as the Macedonians, you're not going to get any upgrades. You're just going to be stuck with base units for the rest of the game, so definitely something that you will need to protect for sure. SAS, he's got a scout inside of Valdemar's base, so he should know that these units are going to be coming in. He'll probably also see, or rather spot out, the horseman play from Valdemar, and we do see the stronghold coming in here behind this. TC is firing onto the archers there, so maybe a little garrison could definitely help out a good bit there. Indeed, the archer is going to get taken down. Hippodrome Scout can tank a couple of hits for sure, and is actually baiting the spearman in. Gets a nice couple of hits in on the spearman as well. And the cool thing is about, well, not cool thing, for Valdemar at least, probably going to be more of an annoyance, is that these Hippodrome units are healing up rather quickly. They're a hero unit, and I think the healing rate on the Hippodrome Scout is like the same as a Warrior Scout from the Malians. Still something that you don't want to just lose out for free. We do have a couple of horsemen fighting off against each other, but one is a little bit outnumbered there, so will probably get taken down. Of course, Valdemar behind this is going for a second TC. 3 villagers have been working hard on that stone outcropping. So eventually that second TC will be coming in, but we already have the first couple of Varangian guards coming in now for SAS. So he will be going for his own little just mass feudal age play now as well. And this is where I want to say Macedonian, they're a little bit broken. Socrates, I'm not gonna lie to you.
I agree.
Yeah,
I would say
if they're able to
overtuned
keep
would
you
be what
in
I would say.
feudal, overtuned. Yeah, that's a good way of putting. That's a good way of putting it, because if you're able to keep your opponent feudal age, eventually you will reach the mark as the Macedonians, where your Varangian guards, they will reach the point where they have 6 melee armor, 4 ranged armor,
That's just silly.
and with the Hippodrome Champion and the runestones, they get over 1.6 tiles per second of movement speed. They're going to be walking as fast, or rather running as fast as a knight. That means your infantry is going to get
silly.
absolutely blitzed upon. Absolutely blitzed upon.
Yeah, just a little overtuned, like I said. Just a little dialed up a little too much in a way. And the funny thing is, I don't think Macedonians as a civ are busted. I don't want to say it. Don't get me wrong on that. I don't think that they are broken. I think this play in this instance, in this unit, the way they play out, is a little overtuned here. But we'll see how Valdemar handles it here. He's got horsemen kind of back and forthing. You can see these guys just don't take damage. I mean, they're just so tanky with all the armor.
First armor upgrade is in already as well. And SAS, he's just pulling 9 villagers over to gold, because he knows the more gold he gathers, the more silver he gets, the quicker he's going to be able to get the second upgrade in on the melee armor. And that's all you need. As soon as the second melee armor upgrade comes in, or not even infantry armor upgrade, melee infantry armor upgrade, as soon as that comes in, your Varangian guards have 10% bonus health, 6 melee armor, 4 ranged armor. The only real option that you can get, really, as the opposite, is you can make camel archers against them, but camel archers have also been nerfed to an extent. They do a little bit less damage now than they used to. They still attack very quickly, they still have pretty good health, but once the Hippodrome Champion comes in, like the Varangian guards with a charge, they catch up. They catch up to the camel archers and they can take them down as well. And they just won't die. Not just that, but Macedonians also get access to the Kira Siphon, so the strongest ram in the game. That attacks from range.
I'm sensing, Cracky, that you've been burned by this in the ladder before.
Oh no, I've burned others with it, and I felt guilty.
You're feeling guilty, so you're trying to repent of your sins and confess about it.
Wham has done it to me once. I've done it like 2-3 times to others, just to like cope after that loss. But yeah, it's pretty disgusting. I'm not gonna lie, it's disgusting. It's actually genuinely disgusting just how good it is.
I can sense the shame.
There's genuine guilt in my voice. Yeah.
Well,
Berserking is in as well at the moment.
Civ.
Berserking actually means that these Varangians take a lot of damage, so you don't want to walk in while Berserking is active.
Yeah, that's the one
We're now
fallback
at
with the Berserk.
450 silver for SAS. 450 silver. He needs 500 to get the last armor upgrade in that he needs.
Well, you'll be there
And
in
once
just a
he's
second.
gotten that, it's over. Like, once that's in, it's just over.
Waiting for the click. He's got the 500 now. Waiting for the click.
I'm saying this, but maybe Valdemar knows what it takes. He is actively making... There it is. It's coming in now. But Valdemar, he is actively making camel archers. It's going to be a lot of micro. The spearmen... Can we just quickly select one of the spearmen from Valdemar? Just to put it into perspective. They do 7 damage, Socrates. They're going to do 1 damage per hit. One damage per hit from the spearmen.
That's
1.
Like Yumi Ashigaru levels of sad. Just little pinpricks, paper cuts. Literally, they're using like
better.
It's like using Nerf spears. They got Nerf swords for spears. I mean, look at these shots, dude. They just aren't doing anything.
Yeah. You mean the whole damage? Yeah, they're gonna do the whole damage point. They're gonna inflict all of the damage. And there it is. Hippodrome Champion has just been spawned. We are gonna get the Hippodrome Rodari Champion. Kars actually Imperial Age unit almost with the stats that it has in Feudal Age. And yes, that's just going for it. He's just diving. The second Pierce Arm upgrade is in, so you can tell these Rangans, I mean, damage is just not something that they're too familiar with. They just don't suffer from it. And just like that, Camel Archers are gone, or at least they've been decimated, the numbers of them.
Shivs come out. Villagers are desperate.
That is without the Hippodrome champion here. It's there now. The Hippodrome is in here now, champion. Valdemar actually just doing a little TC hop there with the villagers. But more and more Varangian guards are coming in behind this, and you can just tell the champion just picking off a whole bunch of villagers there. Actually, a little surround there. Hippodrome champion is getting taken down. That's pretty big. That's actually pretty big value. Loses more of the Hippodrome units.
You know, I guess the fun thing about Abbasid is you've got so many vills, you don't mind using them for combat, which feels so wrong, but actually being used fairly okay here. But still, the idle time being caused by this is also going to start stacking up.
Valdemar, he cannot make any military units at the moment just with how little food he has. SAS, though, I don't think he can keep this up indefinitely. He killed a couple of villagers, nothing too crazy, though. He's caused an immense amount of idle time. Just looking at the TC idle time and the economy efficiency. Actually, it was a good amount of TC idle time on SAS' side as well. But this is the point now where SAS, he needs to pull the brakes just a little bit. What he needs to do next is he needs to get some Kira Siphons in, because so far he's kept the economy idle, but imagine if he had 2 Kira Siphons behind this. He wouldn't just only have kept the economy idle, but he would have also destroyed the infrastructure. And I think that's just the most important part behind it all, being able to take down the infrastructure behind it all.
This is kind of the danger. This is why, like, Macedonians, this is why I say Macedonians aren't, like, busted as a civ. Like, I think, again, these things are a little overtuned, but
there's a method
in the
to
end,
the
they're starting to fizzle out a little bit, and there is a real danger. I mean, Valdemar's up by 8 vills. It's not a lot, but the difference is he has that second town center churning. And things can get out of hand if that keeps going long enough. Now he's up by 10. You can see the walls coming up now. He's just kind of
spears. It looks like SAS is upgrading his spearman. He did have the war cam on the spearman from the looks of it. Going through on the wall is coming in. The issue with spearmen is that they do actually take a lot of bonus damage from the camel archers. You can see the camel archers absolutely chunking them down. My personal preference at this point in time would be to just keep the villager. Villager is getting taken down. Ooh, Outpost not going to get taken up. All will eventually fall. There's a very low health camel archer there as well. And camel archer is still a very pricey unit. Nothing that you really want to lose, but 1, 2 will get taken down.
The amount of pressure that SAS is putting on Valdemar, making it difficult. Again, another 14 idle just in the TC.
Over 1,000 silver, though, behind this. I'm not sure what exactly the plan is for him at the moment. He could have just made, like, 3 Kira Siphons at this point in time. Yeah, this is awkward.
Yeah,
I feel like he's kind of losing out on the mission, losing out on the timing.
Yeah, and these camel archers, they're expensive, but if you can get a mass of them, they get kind of scary.
Yeah, he's trickling too much. Yeah, and Valdemar, he's using this time that's being given to him, right? Like, the economy is still not looking too bad. He's got 29 active villagers working on food.
Spears are a fun choice here because you can pump out the numbers, and so even though, like, these guys are so tanky, the spears can just kind of surround them and start picking them off as they trickle in like this. If there's not a huge mass of them, it's playing right into Valdemar's hand here a little bit.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, look at the village numbers now, 59 to 45. And now as Eco has some time to kind of breathe, and as that happens, you're just seeing just kind of start springboarding ahead.
Yeah, 1,500 silver behind this. I think maybe now we're at the point where SAS actually... He's missed the timing by so much now, with the trickling in of the troops and... Yeah, all of these slight little missteps that he's made, that maybe this is the point where you just try to go for the castle age instead, and it looks like that is going to be the case. He is trying to go for the age up, just needs a little bit more food in now. And then
he's got a ton of
going
silver.
for just the Master Dari. Yeah, I mean, he's got so much silver, he could get
1,400.
Romfire. He can get Romfire immediately. That's the upgrade that does like +3 damage on +3 damage on the Radari, but also +3 damage on the Varangians. So both Radari and the Varangians are going to get affected by it, and he can also still afford the second armor upgrade on the cavalry with that as well, which is kind of a thing to behold. It can be, yeah, and the Golden Horn Tower now coming in. It's inside of a space. Inside of a space next to the next ferry, so we'll be able to put farms around. That is fine as well. Being able to protect the farming economy there.
I almost would have liked to see it be a little more aggressive on the gold, but there's so many gold veins, I guess it's not really necessary.
I don't think he feels like he's in control of the game, honestly, at the moment. Like
That's a fair point.
I feel like yeah. So it makes a lot of sense to me that he's going for this instead.
It's a weird moment where he's the one who's being aggressive, but the game's not really in his control, even though he's being aggressive here.
Yeah. Oh, the move, no! This is the worst timing!
Oh, no.
The worst timing in the world, that move out to the gold! He's losing so many villagers, that is terrible! Absolutely terrible, no units anywhere nearby in order to front this for him. He's just lost a lot of villagers. All of a sudden, it's 71 to 44 military, and the camel archers, they're just ignoring the, They're absolutely ignoring the Varangians. They're just going for the villagers instead. That was a terrible, terrible loss for SAS right there. One that could actually decide the whole entire game as it's going on now. Behind this Valdemar, he's just going for the age up.
I feel a little more justified in thinking maybe the Golden Horn Tower on that gold would have been a good choice. Having something to defend there already, putting the master units together right there might have prevented that. Because I had a feeling he needed to go out to get the gold. Doing it like that's such an unfortunate blow for SAS, and a really, really good pickup for Valdemar. Right place, right time for him.
Definitely is. Valdemar, he hasn't found his way up to the next age yet, though. That is still something that he needs to do. And there are going to be Radari coming in now. The great thing about Radari, or rather, in this matchup, the great thing about Radari is that they are going to be having the ability to throw their axes up against the camel archer. So every now and then, actually going to be able to take pretty good engagements. And oh, that is the worst possible time, probably, to activate the berserking on the ranging guards right when there's the camel archers in front of them. Look at how much damage these ranging guards are taking right now from these camel archers. They just took a whole lot of damage there. So a lot of them are now relatively low HP. And Valdemar is finding his way into the age up shortly. So there needs to be some big damage coming in. Hippodrome, though. Hippodrome champion. Like he does have the armor upgrade on it. It's not going to go down easily. It has 4 melee armor.
He's got
and it's
so
healing.
much.
It's almost out healing the villagers.
Well, as he kills them, it's going to start
It looks like
out-healing.
a horseman. It looks like a horseman, but it is a little bit stronger than a horseman. Economic wig. It's 90 seconds out. We still don't have a single Hero Siphon yet. But there's a timing here. It could be hit. Oh, he's activating the berserking again. I don't like berserking when there's ranged units nearby.
Valdemar happy
Not
just
a big
to kind of
fan.
fight right here.
The Radari aren't hitting. The Radari aren't moving. They're not doing anything.
Spears coming in for the reinforce, and Valdemar is holding. You know, there was a moment where I thought Valdemar was close to being dead. There was a moment where it was looking really tenuous, but I think you're right. No follow-up on Hero Siphons, no killing blow. It just wasn't quite enough, and then you just fizzle. And then with Abbasid, the moment you fizzle is the moment you're kind of dead, because then once they get going, once the engine is humming, look out, you'll get ran right over.
This time to burn through should be working out, though, as the axis meant that the villagers repairing did get taken down there. And now, this time around, the Hippodrome champion should go down, potentially.
I wonder how many villagers that one unit has killed.
Killed like 5 vills. Oh, he's still running, he's still running,
Maybe
and he's
more
still
than
healing.
that. He keeps going out and healing. Oh, goodness. He's getting so much value. Unfortunately, I don't think it's enough. We'll see.
Cavalry
SAS
armor
trying to put
level
the pressure on.
3 coming in. Cavalry armor level 3 is going to be massive. Still no room fire, though. That's surprising to me. It's the strongest upgrade that Macedonians have. Alright, should be getting taken now. Still no rune stone at the front side. It's a lot of spearmen, though. Right now getting taken. Smell arms, though, very, very tanky unit.
Yeah, really premium units versus a lot of spam and fluff. That's kind of the MO for Abbasid, though, is just
Berserk
spamming
getting
lots of cheap
activated
units.
again. I think that's a waste. When you don't have the mass. Yeah, just the Berserk activation here completely griefing SAS.
Yeah, I don't think that helped him. I think that allowing more damage. Villagers getting fed up with The one horse, he's still kicking. I think they're going to finally get him,
That guy
though.
has definitely paid off for himself. Yeah, the 3 bonus melee armor here. Just absolutely decimating.
He's resting in Valhalla now. Don't worry, guys. I think he more than earned it. I mean, I wish you could see stats for units like that every now and then, because he had to have killed 7 or 8, maybe even 9 vills. Felt like there was so many.
Camelot's still out and about. Valdemar, he did lose a lot of his military. The biggest part of his military right now is just the Camelot's here. If those go down, there's still a shot for SAS in this. He's got a lot of food in the bank behind all of this. There's Rumfire finally coming in now. That is so much damage. If you had that in the last fight, it would have been such a big difference maker. Valdemar behind this with a lot of villagers on the outer gold veins. That hasn't been scouted out yet at all by Valdemar. Valdemar is gonna still like look around with these Camelot's for potential food avenues, or rather where SAS is out on food at the moment. He's gonna find a lonesome villager right as he wants to make his move out to the... No, it's the wall actually that's being built. The wall hasn't been built yet.
Oh, it's not
this actually
done.
does
It's
buy
not
SAS
done.
It's gonna tell SAS what's going on here, though. It's gonna tell SAS, hey, something's going on over here. But the units aren't going through. The units aren't going through with it, so SAS isn't pulling back. That's the correct call. Should not be pulling back now. Oh, Night Raid over here, though. Just jumping inside. Time's pretty brutal on this.
This map can feel really big when you go wide. I mean, the distance from TC to TC, you can kind of have just a narrow strip of the map, but when you start getting onto these far reaches in the west and eastern corners, it can really make the map feel quite large.
Camel-Lancers now going back into the middle here. Gonna find some of the crossbows that have now been spawned in as well. And now we're also going to be getting veterancy in on the Camelot's. They've gotten in so much value for Valdemar here throughout this game.
My question is, how much more value is he going to get out of them? Does he keep producing them, or does he swap into crossbows at some point? So there's a lot of heavy units now on the field.
We've got the Warcam switched over to Radari, so SAS is getting a whole lot of additional Radarian. We do have Rumfire in behind this as well. Honestly, like, I've said this a whole bunch of times now, but I'm still... like in shock of the lack of Kira Siphons that we had so far for SAS. I think that would have been an absolute game changer here throughout it all. Like, infrastructure is like the one thing that the Abbasid cannot really remass as quickly as villagers. Like, villagers, yeah, you don't mind losing a ton of them. And SAS, he's going for the other really strong unit now, though, for the Macedonian. That is the Bokmather. That is the archer unit. He's got enough silver in the bank to get both the like level 2 archer upgrades, and with the amount of silver that he's getting in passively, should soon have enough to get the like level 3 damage upgrade, and that's when they really just start shredding things in the game. Because you can also activate them to ignore 2 armor on enemy units, so then it's like a delta of like 5 damage.
Upgrades in now for the Camel Archers. He's looking for spots to use these. Wololo coming in. Is he going to notice?
Oh, a keep in the middle?
He's going to find...
That is going to go up. But actually,
get that
can
relic.
it stay up?
Or will it go up? Oh, it will. Just in time, too. A lot of units here for SAS, though.
There are a lot, but this is not a fight. Like, if the army from Valdemar arrives as well, that is not a fight that he can take.
Moving over to the
We truly need some form of siege here at some point from SAS.
Yeah, and now that keep is there, that's just another thorn in his side. But now Valdemar moves out with the main force of
Radari,
military.
though. This fight could be great for SAS. And I think it's going to be great. Like, if Valdemar actually takes this fight, and the Radari are coming in from the other side as well,
we're
going to get a potential surround there. Might should be coming in now. Radari taking the fight.
Surround.
Needs a runestone placed as well behind this. Camels just don't stand a chance. Fight, 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 fight. Should get taken here. Runestone gets placed.
Nasty surround from SAS. An excellent positional fight. Can you get through the mass?
These are getting slaughtered. Both sides for the most part, actually.
Kind of an even trade, yeah. If anything, I think
there's more Radari coming in behind this.
The
archers can now take down the crossbows, and once the crossbows are down, nothing can stop the Radari anymore.
Yeah, it was looking okay for Valdemar given the circumstances.
Unfortunately. Yeah.
It was looking okay given the circumstances, and then the reinforcements in the second wave kind of sealed the fate there. Great surround from SAS, really good positional fight. He really needed something like that to stay in this game because Valdemar, yeah, the eco numbers are almost double for him now, so SAS really needs to find some advantages.
This is right in the farm transition. If only, I'm going back to the Kirisiphon rant here.
If he had a way to break through buildings, like a wall. Gold vein all but picking up over there on the corner. Breakthrough in 3, 2, 1.
18 Radari back up here. Archers need to fight. Oh, SAS needs to be very aware of his unit positioning.
It's hard to do that when you're in so many choke points with a lot of trees and buildings.
They use their ability, so they're very slow right now. Loses a lot on the Bokmather there, on the retreat. Radari. I think this is also a situation where you don't want to have all the Radari throwing axes, only like a couple. You want to just front with the Radari and then have the couple in the back that can't like get the surround in, positioning-wise, throw the axes. Fight is getting taken again. There's a lot of spearmen coming in. Archers doing their best.
In the back line, just shredding through. The choke points really kind of helping out Valdemar here. So many units coming in.
Can Valdemar keep up the production? He's got 15 crossbows in queue.
Does he have that many production buildings? How many is he sitting on right now? He's got 4, so he can make quite a couple and pretty quickly then.
I'm not sure about that. I don't think it... Is it going to be enough? There's still Radari out there. The crossbows are falling to the archers now.
Oh, that's the problem. The archers getting on the back line now means pretty much certain death. And with Valdemar with twice eco advantage, but in the middle of the farm transition... He's got 2k food coming in to only 60, but look at this. It's the silver for SAS. That extra resource really coming in clutch here for him to help the production and keep the eco going. 23 to 14 villager kills.
Unit mass is still a problem though. SAS, where's the reinforcements in? They're not there. They're not there. There's 9 Radari out on the field, just not here yet. He's losing the archers for it.
For resources, his strapped for food. I mean, the food income's only 700 a minute for SAS, whereas it's 2k for Valdemar. Starting to see the effects of that a little bit here. This was out once again. That was, I think, a really close hold for Valdemar. He's really lucky that SAS didn't have anything else in the tank to keep pushing forward. That could have been disastrous, but instead he survives. Now we kind of reach the point where SAS has 3 of the sacred sites. He's moving on the map. Both players are on the map now.
There is one more win condition, okay? One more win condition in this game for SAS. Listen up.
There's no way he can hold that top one, though, against the full might.
Fire Springles.
Does he get... Would that work? Does that... I mean, it's such a new thing.
It beats everything. It is legitimately broken. Fire Springles beat everything in the game. Everything. There is no counter to them. Unless you have got like 6 culverins or something like that. Yeah, this is... There's so much silver as well. SAS just hasn't been utilizing.
Yeah, when you're sitting on... Okay, speaking 2,000 just disappeared right from the screen, but when you're floating stuff like that, it does put you behind. The tricky thing for me is I'm looking at the population numbers. I mean, 200 for Valdemar to 103 for SAS. Like, he's got the sacred sites for another half second. It feels like there were some windows where he could have done some real damage. I'm just not sure that he's gonna... I think that window might be closing here. I think it might be...
A trebuchet? Oh, no.
Yeah, that's not gonna do enough. Where's our sacred timer at anyways? Where are we at on the sacred timer? He had all 3. It probably was... I don't think it was close enough to be a worry, but...
Yeah.
On either way now. And now the full might of Abbasid on a multiple TC boom is going to rear its ugly head and face off against what SAS has left.
We have a runestone here. Looks like there should be one nearby, or hasn't been dropped yet. It's getting taken. Mangonel is firing off. Ari here at the front line. They're still just throwing axes. The axes that's not doing DPS. That's not a good damage opportunity for him. He does have all of these strongholds, though, which actually do a good amount of DPS here. range damage that's coming in from these strongholds. Actually not bad
so
DPS
annoying
that's
to
coming
push
in
into.
here. And still
Not much
like
of a front
35
line left
farm.
here for Valdemar, but he's got a lot of DPS in those crossbows. See the Gulam trickling behind here, along with some spears and other units.
Difficult situation here. SAS needs to fall back further. He's putting so much wood right now into the archers, which in theory he needs for a farm transition behind this. He's added in a second TC, but it's 140 villagers for Valdemar at the moment. He's just not really getting him out of his base now. Forward Siege Workshop coming in as well. Valdemar really wants to take down the infrastructure from SAS, and this is like the main difference. SAS, when he had the opportunity, he did not go for the infrastructure damage. Now, Valdemar has the opportunity. He's immediately going for it. Strongholds are still like firing. It's just
they're annoying buildings.
Reinforcements.
They just kind of they're definitely going to be annoying against those crossbows too.
Every
Regardless,
single one of them
Valdemar
is an arrowslit emplacement, and now there's Imperial Age coming up behind this.
That'll be it, and that's going to be the nail in the coffin. And sure enough, SAS knows that even with all those things, the crossbows are just walking into his base unabated. That'll do it. The game was probably over for a while there, but there were some windows. There were some windows and some what ifs left on the board. I think for SAS.
There were some moments where I would have said, okay, there's no way that SAS doesn't win it there, but then it happened.
And then he didn't.
Like,
and then it happened. I mean, there was,
and then he didn't.
I think
and then he didn't.
His best bet, I think, was that initial push early in the game.
Resources.
Yeah, after about 17 minutes.
Quote-unquote olive oil, 15,000 silver.
All the silver, and what did it buy him? I mean, silver and gold. He had both. But wood and food and a trash army that you can just keep pumping with the defender's advantage. It was the trickle, right? It's the trickle that SAS kind of did. He kind of fizzled out and then just kind of kept trickling in units. That's just throwing stuff to the wind. That's just burning your money, right? Like, you're just not getting any value out of it then. It's tough when you don't tear down the buildings that Abbasid builds. You got to tear stuff down, and I think you're right.
Yeah.
A Kerosephan or two there could have made that first push a lot more effective, and then the whole rest of the game might have looked very different. But as it is, Valdemar takes a 2-game lead over SAS. The series is not over yet, though. This is a best of 5. Valdemar needs one more, but the match point is set and ready, so SAS on the back ropes.
Indeed, indeed. So now we're going to be looking at the draft yet again to just find out what exactly is going to be the civilizations of choice here for these players for game number 3 as we're moving back to the lobby. Surely. There we go. Next up is going to be Frisian Marshes with Sengoku Daimyo for Valdemar up against Mongols from SAS. I don't think that's gonna be all that great for Mongols. I hear horseman opening.
Yeah, Cows saying
production.
Horseman openings. I mean
that's it's like a team game meta going for the horseman opening, and I can see it.
I mean, I'll put a pin. I'll interject. We've seen some team game meta stuff work in these 1v1s in EGC. We've seen a couple of out of the box things work. I'm not willing to write off SAS just yet on this. That said, I do really like Sengoku here quite a bit, but we'll see. You never know.
It's just Mongols is never really one of those civilizations that you have on your bingo card, and it's like, oh yeah, Mongols, easy W. Especially since Mongols, you've all probably seen Magic's Knight tier list video, right? Kashyyyks don't really rank too well there, and we're in Age of Cavalry at the moment, so it's
especially
it's all
against
about that cav.
Sengoku's is it the Yari cavalry, when they get bonus damage into cav. I feel like putting those up against Kashyyyk, I'd have to do some math and see how that wins out, but that extra bonus to cavalry really plays into Sengoku's hands, I think, just a little bit.
Yeah. Granted, Yari aren't even like that strong at the end of the day.
No,
they are pretty good like into normal horsemen, but like just by comparison, like if you face them off against Ghazi or if you face them off against something like Sapai, for example, you would probably still prefer those civilizations or those.
They definitely feel better
units.
than normal horsemen, and it gives you the option to still raid.
Yeah.
Like they have like it's like a tool in the toolbox that they can use. It's a bit interesting. It makes the dynamic kind of strange, but
they're genuinely a lot more expensive though. I think they're probably like the more balanced version of the Sipahi and the.
That's probably true.
And the Ghazi, because their damage is tied to cavalry. So it's not like they can just bully spearmen, which Ghazi and Sipahi can. Like in low numbers, you can just throw Sipahi and Ghazi up against spearmen. You can't do that with the Ari cavalry. Taking a quick look at the
crazy,
bracket.
To be fair.
Yeah.
Sipahi are just crazy good and super fun to play with. But looking at the bracket right here, it looks like Baltoon was able to take care of business with ease against Eric. He will be moving on to the qualifying match. I believe that'll be tomorrow. We got Scarlet Devil and MSN playing eventually here. Valdemar and SAS, of course, going on right now. And then Scatterbrain Downfall currently tied 1-1 down there at the bottom of our round of 16 bracket. Do we have the other half to take a look at here in just a second?
Surely any moment. There we go. Part 2 coming up right now. Kiljadi up against Eliona. Looks like Core is currently still battling it on up against Jiv Music. Jiv has a lead 2-1 at the moment.
Jiv. We saw him play just earlier today.
Gento, where Gento has taken out Lash on his side. So a little bit of an upset that did come in over there. And Myriad currently leading 1-0 up against Corvinus there.
That's not surprising, but Corvinus can always put up quite a good fight too. But Myriad's a pretty decent player. Myriad's been on just like the fringe of the top, what would I say, like top 8 for a bit. He's been like right there. He was in King of the Rockies, and he's been in a couple of tournaments and been competitive to say the least. We'll see how that one. Maybe Corvinus gets a game off of him there. We'll find out. Yeah, some fun brackets, man. Qualifiers are fun. I'm excited, and tomorrow will be fun to watch too, as we'll be able to see who actually makes it and punches their ticket. But as it is now, we're still halfway through our series now. SAS trying to get a game and get things back on track. Valdemar threatening to move on here. We have a look at their drafts just yet of where we're going next. We did. We're going to Mongols.
We did. Sengoku versus Mongols.
Mongols and Sengoku on Frisian Marshes. That's right. I remember. I was there a minute ago.
I was here.
It's been a long day. I got up really early today. You know, I gotta get some caffeine in me, get my mind moving a little more.
It's fine. It's already dark out there for me. It's early in the morning for you. It's a little bit of a balance. I'm getting sleepy. You're
waking up. It was dark when I started. Now I've got a window full of light, so my plant's happy.
Yeah, Sengoku up against Mongols. It's also an interesting one. Off the top of my head, I'm not 100% sure how much, but I do believe that the Atai can also gather bonus food from the shoreline fish.
They do. They do.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much it is, though, whether it's comparable to a boar.
I think it depends on the number of pawns. I don't know if... I think 4 pawns would be. I don't think 3 would be, though.
4 pawns for 1 Yatai, that
would be enough.
To be fair, though, gotta keep in mind that every pond has, or not every pond, but like a lot of the ponds do have berries nearby. So that should be
so they get a little
additional
extra.
food
It should
there
get
as
over
well.
the edge.
Yeah.
I'm like curious now. Like I'm thinking the idea of like a food cart going out to the ponds and like making like sushi rolls and stuff. Right there, very on brand for Sengoku. Although I don't think they'd use sushi rolls from like little shoreline fish, would they? They usually like the nice big tuna. It's lunchtime almost here. I'm getting a little hungry. You can't tell.
Yeah. I'm thinking about this matchup right now. I'm just wondering like what the game plan here for Mongols probably gonna be. Like, sure, if there's gonna be like early dock play from Sengoku, you could go for the Dark Age Spearman with the Mongols, right? I think maybe it's just better to go for your own dock play instead as the Mongols. Maybe go for Spearman after the fact. Like first go for your own dock, scout in the meantime, see if your opponent's gonna go for a dock, but because it could just be Yatai as well. And the issue with Yatai is they take a long time to get taken down. Maybe you could go for Dark Age Horseman, as Kao alluded to. Like, it is a genuine situation where this could be coming into play, but then you leave yourself open for a counter Spearman play, where those horsemen suddenly just become useless. You might be able to snipe one villager out on the map that goes for the docks potentially, but that's about it. There's a whole lot of different ways to approach this matchup, I feel like. I'm not 100% sure as to which one is the most efficient one there.
We'll see if SAS can pull a rabbit out of the hat and make something work here. I think with like the Atai, the important thing is sometimes not even getting the Atai, it's getting that trader down before it gets to the Matsuri. So if you can maybe find a way to trap that, or if you want to delay a couple minutes before getting super aggressive and go for your own dock play, you can still, if you take down, you're obviously giving up the food that it gathers, but if you can take down that trader on the way to the Matsuri, that can really slow down the late game economy of Sengoku by just not letting those percentages creep up on the Matsuri. That's something that, like, sometimes if you can time it right, it's hard to do, but if you can manage it, it can really kind of deal a nice blow to the economy.
It can, but I think it just takes such a long time to make it.
Yeah.
So as we're jumping right on in the free match point now at the moment for Valdemar, who is spawning in. He has two guys. He's now playing as is going to be none other than SAS playing as the Mongols, and interestingly enough, he is not going to be going for a Matsuri even early on. Instead, it's just a normal forge, and he's just not even going to go for Yatai. He's going to go for the fast feudal age instead. That's an interesting one. He's kind of completely foregoing any sort of scaling that Sengoku typically wants to go for. I can see this making sense because he can go for the Matsuri later in feudal age instead, and he can put it up next to the wood line in the back, where once the scaling comes in, it's much nicer to get the bonus on the wood and the farming economy later on in the game.
Do you think that he's just really respecting what Dark Age stuff that Mongols can do with this not going for the Matsuri? I mean, is that like...
Yeah, it could be the reason. Valdemar already almost has enough gold. Yeah, we do get the Dark Age barracks rush here in from SAS. Yeah, Valdemar's going to be ready for this. Take a quick look at the forge over there. So the forge is getting destroyed as well.
Wow.
So truly,
really respecting what Mongols can do here. Valdemar not wanting to give up any gold or any pressure. It's almost a little bit surprising. I feel like by the time I got over, it'd be kind of late. But
and SAS sees what's happened there as well. He's not making any spears. No spears made. Oh, never mind. Yeah, he did double.
Caster Spears finally catching up to you after.
Yeah,
really
the double
good
production doesn't
today.
show up on the UI, so we can't see it, but he is sending additional villagers out to woods, so now the follow-up seems to be a dock after all. But Valdemar's almost about able to age up now as well, so it would be quite late. Now, is it gonna be a dock play? He sends villagers out to gold. Coca Township already coming in for Valdemar, so the timing's quite tight now for a dock play here from SAS. It looks like he's going for it. Let's see, wouldn't be gathering wood.
Does he have a villager on the way? Is that a villager I see walking across the map right now?
It is.
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
So, classic tower
so
rush
no
then.
dock, but an outpost instead, yeah. But the timing's going to be... No, the timing's actually not going to work. In 5 seconds, the landmark finishes before the outpost finishes, and then you got Shinobi.
Yeah.
And with Shinobi, you can just kill with villagers, and Valdemar sees the villager as well.
And this is kind of why we were sitting here wondering why Mongols into this and how to play it, because the timing just doesn't work. And Valdemar, I mean, to his credit, I mean, just deleting the forge, doing what he needed to do, really respecting that Mongols can tower rush. And because he kind of preempted that, he's not going to be bothered by this too much at all. He's going to be aged up. The Shinobi are going to pop out. He's going to be able to counter this tower play pretty easily from SAS.
Yeah, he's already pulled the villagers over to the berries as well, just because he knows, okay, as soon as my age up finishes, I'm going to pop Shinobi, then I'm going to pull the villagers forward, just like he is doing right now. Outpost gets cancelled.
Oh, that's such a nice play. Didn't even have to actually like risk the vills. Just like 2 seconds idle time, got the cancel and the rebuild. That buys him another 30 seconds. Can you get it to happen again? No, Spears have reinforcements, so not going to let it.
Oh, he's cancelling it. Okay, that's
canceled it again.
Still has enough wood, though. Still has enough wood. And now Archer Range just getting rushed up as soon as possible here. Yumi is also produced rather quickly. It's not going to be quick enough.
Valdemar just bought himself the time, right? Like, just by a little bit of aggression, just like almost fainting the burn. Able to buy himself the time with the rebuild on the tower, and now almost, man, like daisies popping up. Here are the buildings, Archer Range up and ready to go. The first Yumi Ashigaru popping out right now.
Yeah, and Shinobi.
And in come the Shinobi to go with it. Nice
gets
play
taken
from
down.
Valdemar.
Yeah, the villager. Oh, Shinobi.
Well, this completely just like brushes aside the tower rush, right?
Yeah,
I mean, this
that one
just
doesn't
completely
exist
brushes
anymore.
aside.
Deerstorm's coming up.
Valdemar's on time. It's still not even 5 minutes in, just now at 5 minutes. Up in H2. And now SAS on the back foot, frankly. No docks, no anything else. He's got 4 spears that are now getting chipped away. Valdemar, this is going exactly the way Valdemar drew it up.
Yeah, for the most part. The question is, what's the follow-up really going to be now, though, for both players? I think SAS, in theory, he probably already has a stable prepped behind this, I want to guess, for a follow-up. Could be just going for a double-produced Kashik play now, still try and put up some aggression. Yeah, stable's already up. Could pack that one up, put it next to the Uvu, get the double production Kashiks in. Needs a little bit more food, though, for it before it comes in. Yeah, it packs up, puts it next to the Uvu.
I love the UI up top on the stone for Valdemar at -8 a minute. It's a very funny number to see.
And now Valdemar's the first one to go up to, or go out to the docks. And just the second he sees that, SAS now pulled a lot of villagers over to wood, so will be able to put up his own docks on the pond as well. But with the Kashik play, he might be able to snipe a villager that's out on the map, putting up these docks. I think this is also probably the point in time where we do actually disable the trail for the scout on the minimap.
Yeah, it's done run its course. The con's just kind of running silly now. Useful in the first minutes.
Don't let the players know that we have this technology. They might start drawing funny things.
Oh gosh, they might. It'd be funny if one could like write hi chat on it on the minimap at some point. That'd be great. I doubt that'd be what they'd do. I can imagine a couple of other things they would go for instead.
Archer range now also coming in for SAS on the Uvu as well. Is spotting out the villager that's still continuing to put up these stocks. First tier tie only just now has come up. So Sengoku Daimyo so far actually didn't have a whole lot of bonus economy going for them. This actually puts Mongols in not the worst spot, believe it or not, for the current moment in the game. Oh, Shinobi. Khan is in trouble, in shambles.
My Shinobi.
Gets taken down.
Nice. Oh man, you can really see the scout. I don't think normally would have done enough damage there, but because of what the Shinobi do.
Oh, there's still remaining grenades.
Oh,
and just like
nice.
that, a single spearman just almost completely decimated that
I think that
Kashik.
Kashik could have gone down. I think those Yumi should have stayed aggressive there. I think they could have done it.
Yeah, it looked promising.
It looked promising. I don't think he's going to get it now. I don't think there's enough anymore. I think the window kind of passed, but there's a shot. This one might, though, with the second spearman coming in.
Kashik's running for the time being.
Yeah. They can't stand and fight
There's
that.
archers
It's
coming
just enough.
in as well now. Every time the Kashiks get a chance, they can heal up a little bit on the... Oh, they need to be careful, though. Need to be so careful. Almost loses the Kashik there. Additional units coming forward now. Khan's Hunter there as well.
Outside of the shenanigans at the beginning, we've got a pretty tight game on our hands now here. Both players settling in. We do have the docks coming in and the first of the food trucks out and about on the map. Mongols needs... I worry, though, that SAS needs some kind of economic edge to keep up with this. I don't think he hasn't really done enough damage. One Vil is not going to pay the bills.
Yeah, we haven't seen a play at all yet when it comes to going for the... Oh, Kashiks.
Oh.
That is
He's lucky he got away with one.
Bad hits. Yeah. So getting away, you could put that in brackets. Not sure how lively that Kashik is. Getting some healing in right now on the dock, but
Go find
there's
the
not all
dock,
the archers
yeah.
nearby. Like, SAS has so many archers out on the field, they're just nowhere to be found at the moment. They're still like busy running across the map. Meanwhile, 7 fishing ships to 0 from SAS, and now Sengoku is going to start adding in some horsemen as well. We have to, we're going to get that triple army composition in.
Oh, and those horsemen are going to hit like a truck, too. They're going to be able to handle their own against the Kashik. They're going to be able to take down the archers, obviously. And there's no spears for SAS right now, so he's going to have no answer to them. Kashik just aren't in big enough numbers to deal with a huge horseman mass if Valdemar pulls into it. Meanwhile, fishing still just going crazy. That's a lot of fishing boats in that little pond. Looks like he wants to eat them up pretty fast.
SAS should definitely start pressuring that a little bit more. Also use every single chance that you get, of course, to heal up those Keshiks on the dock.
Yeah. You see that weak one right there. He's probably doesn't want to stand and fight, but getting a little health back. If he can just get enough health back to take even an extra shot from something, that'd be valuable.
Archer ship coming in next. Something that definitely is going to have to be respected once it comes in.
Can we take a look at what building we got, what clan we got from
Shinobi?
Sengoku?
Gets taken
we got
down
Shinobi
quickly.
popping out right on the docks.
Oh, but taken down quickly. Now the Archer ship, though. He's housed. He's housed. Valdemar's housed. He's not getting the Archer ship out. Now it is.
There it goes. If we can take a look at the base, I want to see what clan we're going for with Sengoku real quick. I want to see
None
if
yet.
it's the... None of my business. Where's an axe? He's got one on the field.
No, he doesn't.
Or does he not?
These are Yari cap.
Oh, I thought...
That's Yari cap, not Daimyo.
That's right. He doesn't have the daimyo yet. That image on there looks a lot like a daimyo more
it
than a
looks
horseman.
similar. Yeah.
I was gonna say, I was like, I thought he was doing that early. I'm curious which one he'll go for. I would, if I were him, I'd probably lean into the, I think it's Oda clan, where you get the upgrade to the Yumi Ashigaru. I think that'd be the most benefit for him here right now.
Yeah, and feudal age for sure. Like if you're playing a prolonged feudal. SAS has started expanding out to the docks now as well, out to the ponds. Sees the dock out here now as well.
Take out those fishing ships. There's not enough of them there to be all garrisoned in. But
His cavalry chasing now.
yeah, the cavalry, and he can't stand and fight that. Not against the comp that Valdemar has. Meanwhile, archers
There's
though looking to push into the
blacksmith
base. Are they
upgrades,
just gonna go with the front door?
I mean, SAS has the blacksmith upgrades, and Valdemar at the moment does not. So trade out would be in
Pretty good,
SAS's
yeah.
favor here at the moment.
He's not. He's kind of hanging back though. I think he could press the issue a little bit.
Even going for the melee damage, melee armor upgrade here, for anything else really. It's surprising.
I think he's respecting the horsemen here from that though, because they do bonus damage against Cav. I think he
Time to
wants
take
them
a
to bait
fight.
that
Needs
for a
to
little bit.
kite. Everyone getting taken down. Race on the cavalry there.
Really
Yeah, no
good
blacksmith upgrades. This
hiding
is going to
here.
be really bad for Valdemar. He's able to snipe down the spearmen. He could also just trade out very well up against the cavalry, like legitimately just snipe out the cavalry with the archers. SAS, you shouldn't fall back much further than that. You are actually in the lead
he's
here.
the better. Because the Yumi Ashigaru are not
Still
doing as much
blacksmith
damage as
upgrades.
his archers are.
Yeah,
Not by a
even
long
remotely.
shot. I mean, they're down 2.
Without blacksmith upgrades, they do 1 damage per shot,
Yeah.
like the minimum, bare minimum. Valdemar doesn't have any traders yet in on that
SAS
Missouri,
should
so
push the issue. I've noticed that SAS has played a little passive.
was a lot of
at times.
idle
He
time
needs
on
to
his food.
push here.
yeah, there was a
Still think
lot of
he has a
idle time
good
on his
trade here.
food. SAS, yeah, this is still like a really, really good trade without any blacksmith upgrades. Like, just he's not going to get much better opportunities to take these fights.
It's tricky though, because you don't always get to know unless you click and actually take a look. It's hard to tell at a glance how many upgrades your opponent has as far as blacksmith stuff
Front line
goes.
with the Keshiks.
But a great exchange of volleys here.
Yeah,
Getting good
not
picks on the
frontlining
spears,
with
too.
the Keshiks here is hurting him so much. There's still no pierce armor in. So the archers
he's
would
actually-
still do great damage to the horsemen.
He could pick off those spears and then start getting the healing from the Keshiks if he actually lets them fight. Instead, they're just taking chip damage. He needs to let them actually fight and get some more health. In come the Shinobi, and
the
this
Shinobi
could be
now.
kind of bad. This could change the tide.
Spearman getting sniped. 1 spearman still left alive, but the Keshiks are cleaning up.
Feels like a decent trade for Valdemar here. Maybe
Does.
not a white by any means, but decent hold.
This is bad for
Feels like
SAS. Every
SAS'
minute that
advantage.
he's like not getting crucial damage in is getting worse for him. He's got a lot of food in the bank right now. This is the moment. Actually, like right now, it needs to pull like 12 villagers from from wood over to gold because I'm not sure if it's just miss macro, but I'm not sure what he's going for at the moment. I'm quite confused. Now suddenly food's dipping again without anything major in queue, I want to say. Maybe there's double produced Keshiks coming in that we don't see on the overlay. I think that might be the case, but he's kind of like missing the timing. Blacksmith upgrades are starting to come in.
It's kind of
The
caught in the
Yari
middle,
Cav
right?
out and about
Like,
now.
could maybe go for Castle Age. Could maybe really should have probably played into the feudal more. Now he's just getting raided. And if you're Valdemar, you trade a couple horsemen for the Vill or 2. I mean, that seems like a
Yeah.
fine trade to me.
Definitely is, definitely is. This has been not going too well for SAS here at the moment. Valdemar doing a great job here of also just getting in additional docks behind all of this, so still continues to scale with the economy. SAS is catching up slowly but surely. But now we do see the first daimyo coming in for Valdemar. He's finally starting to unlock the scaling a little bit for Sengoku. That is going to be the Yumi one, I do believe, if it's circular like that. Can we quickly... So yeah, it is the Yumi one.
It is. I think it's the Oda, if I'm not mistaken.
It is something.
Getting the upgrade to the Yumi Ashigaru, and that upgrade is huge. In fact, can we hover over that upgrade and just take a look at it, just in case anyone doesn't know at home. That upgrade for the Yumi, it's in queue right now, it basically makes them like normal archers. So grants +1 damage to Yumi Ashigaru, who start at -1 damage compared to average archers. So it basically brings them up to par. And then with the other upgrades you can get in Castle Age and whatnot later, you can make them even better. So definitely worthwhile if you're going to go into a Yumi Ashigaru comp if you're playing as...
There's a big army now running across the map from Valdemar. A lot of archers. Raid still going on the food yet again. Sassy hasn't noticed yet. Now he's noticed.
Oh, man.
A lot of very low HP villagers here running over to the gold. And it looks like there might be an age up getting triggered soon, but SAS getting caught out at the worst possible moment in time. Doesn't have the food yet. Instead, he's got to double down. He's got to go for Keshix again. He's got 10. Needs to evacuate the gold now.
Reminds me of, like, I don't know if anyone's ever watched the old Karate Kid, where old Mr. Miyagi's like, look, you got to either do it or not do it. If you get caught in the middle of the road, you get squished like grape. And that's kind of what's happening here. Is if you want to go castle and you kind of half commit to it, but don't fully, or you don't fully commit to the feudal game, you get this weird thing where you've got like 600 resources in the bank just kind of sitting there, 800 resources. You can't use it for castle. It's too late now to use it for a feudal play, and now you get squished. And this is kind of what's happening right here to SAS.
Keshix trying to come in as well. There's good reinforcement Keshix. Maybe Valdemar overestimated his chance here a little bit. Keshix on the backside as well. This could be good for SAS now to take this fight.
These Yumi Ashigaru are on par with normal archers, but still, that's a lot of Keshix. No spears here to be helping either. He might have overextended. You can't really just walk into an opponent's base with just archers. That doesn't work in Feudal Age, even if you've got a big, massive Yumi.
SAS is continuing to step up. A lot of archers though, so they are doing a good amount of damage in as well in mass like that. Especially with the Yumi archer upgrade. The archers from
Valdemar
SAS
chose the right time to get out of dodge. That was the right time to back up. If he'd have stayed a second longer, it would have been disastrous. It already isn't great, and it's given SAS really a chance at new life here. He was on the ropes. If the front line had survived for Valdemar, it would have been really rough.
He's falling back again. Only archers.
Yeah, he's got the Keshik. He can keep pushing this. And if you look at his macro, he's macroed in really well back into feudal. He's committed to the feudal game. He's rebalanced everything. He can, and you see what happens once he commits to feudal. He starts winning again. He starts pushing back. The problem is he could go a little further here. He could do a little more damage, and he frankly needs to do more damage. The
thing is, he hasn't really reduced the army count from from Valdemar yet.
Yeah,
that's the main issue. And now Valdemar is the one that's going for the Castle Age play with a good standing army. And SAS, he is nowhere near Castle Age now.
Keeping those Yumi alive and backing up in a very tactical retreat, we'll call it, for Valdemar, while letting his eco kind of churn. Now Valdemar's still in a very good spot. SAS keeps getting these windows, I've noticed throughout the series. He's a good player, he really is. He has these windows and he's just not quite capitalizing, as we see here. Like, again, a little window, but it's so short and fleeting, it's hard sometimes to jump on it. But if you can jump on it, that's kind of the difference between like the top 5 players in the world and kind of everyone else trailing, trying to catch up, is when you capitalize, everyone makes mistakes, but sometimes the windows to capitalize are really small and you got to be able to jump right on it when the moment shows. And sometimes if you hesitate, it's gone. I like picking up the food cart here though, that's good. And some free health for the Eshiks as well.
Valdemar already has a pretty good farming economy going for himself. Sake Brewery is coming up all the way in the back there as well. SAS very far away from his own H-up. Does have a great amount of Keshiks, but once Mounted Samurai start coming online, like the Keshiks, they definitely do fall short. And not just Mounted Samurai coming in now, it is also going to be the veterancy upgrade on the Yumi Archers. So these guys now are starting to hit like a truck. SAS trying to go for his own age up. He's gonna need to go for Kurultai if he wants to have any chance at like taking even somewhat like semi-okay fights. But there's just so many Archers now at this point in game, and Archers at the moment are a unit in the game that also, to an extent, kind of like break the counter triangle a little bit, at least in Castle Age, where in Feudal Age, in Feudal Age they do like 2 damage to armored units maximum, unless you got longbows. But in Castle Age, suddenly it's 3 damage, so they like get a 50% damage increase against their counter in Castle Age, which can really start screwing things up for players. And
do some math real
need
quick.
to be careful.
I mean, 3 damage times 46 Yumi Ashigato is 138 damage. You're one-shotting stuff almost, or 2-shotting heavy units. So, and that really is it. And that's what we mean when we say like critical mass. You're looking at it, and then with the Shinobi to boot. Yeah, Valdemar in a very strong spot here. Kurultai could be helpful, and at this point, like, you start thinking of, okay, what's my get out of jail free card if I'm SAS? Maybe if you can find a way in the resources to somehow get a Mangonel or 2 out. They're not as effective as they used to be, but maybe you can get a go for broke home run shot on the Mumi. But at this level, that's hard to do. Just
Shinobi coming in as well. Upgrades are gonna take forever now to come in. We do have the Kurultai here helping the Archers out. Under the Kurultai and underneath the TC, but it's just so many Yumi Archers. I think it just might not matter. Yeah, he's just going for it non-stop. Doesn't care.
Can only do so much. There's no more front line for SAS.
Getting taken down in a second as well.
The Mounted Samurai, they are just so tanky.
Forever. Villagers next up getting taken down.
The Samurai are the difference here.
Too many Yumi Archers.
Looks like this game is about over. The Yumi number's trickling, but so is the army mass for SAS. And yeah, that will do it. He can just stand under the Kurultai, under the TC, and still keep fighting. That'll do it. A 3-0 to Valdemar. SAS making a good effort at it, but unfortunately getting swept by Valdemar. And congrats to Valdemar, who, in his case, like I said, be fortunately able to take a clean sweep and move on.
Yeah, he's going to be facing off tomorrow. I believe it was either against Scatterbrained or Muhodo in order to qualify for the main qualifiers for the road to Wololo.
The qualifiers are the qualifiers. You got to love it.
It is the qualification to be able to step a foot on the road.
But I mean, hey, it gives a chance for more games, more things to watch. It's all fun. And I believe Valdemar will be pretty favored in those matchups moving forward here as well. Looks like the path is pretty clear to him now.